40%. I'm Kat.
I'm Hayley.
And this is Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind, sip wine, and each teach a topic we can't teach at school. What are we drinking, Hayley?
We're drinking Moscow Mules.
Yes.
Kat made them for us. I don't know. You tell me. What are we drinking?
Yeah, we are drinking Deep Eddy vodka and some Kroger brand ginger beer with a squeeze of lime juice that came in a bottle. So it's going well.
That natural lime juice.
Yeah, I did not squeeze my own limes for these ones, sadly.
Fake.
So I wanted to buy limes, but I went into the grocery store and there weren't any more baskets. So I had to just like carry everything I was buying. And I was just like, I can't carry limes.
I always do. I always do the opposite where I'm like, I walk in and I'm like, I will not need a basket. I can just grab my things and go. But then I need a basket. And then when I do grab a basket, there's just one thing in it. And I feel like a fool.
Yeah. I always grab a basket, but today there weren't baskets. And then, of course, there weren't baskets. And then I'm holding this 6-pack of ginger beers in the mile-long line at the Midtown Kroger. And two of them like fell out of the like little plastic holders and hit the ground. And then I was like crawling around the floor of the Kroger, picking them up. And then my arms were full because I had the 6-pack in one hand. And then I like had the cans under my arm. And then I also bought like some vitamin waters to like try to avoid a hangover tomorrow. And so like my arms were just like full of like canned liquid. And I still had to stand in line and no one let me skip. Not that I would want them to, but I was just
but no one
I
let
was
me
just
skip,
like really, I was just really butthurt.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that would make me have a meltdown in public. Like that would be the last straw type of deal.
It's always the worst. Like one time Alec and I were at the grocery store and we had like one of those like things of like strawberries or something. And we had waited in line and got all the way to the front at the self-checkout. And then like I just picked up the thing of strawberries wrong and they went everywhere. Do you remember that?
I don't think I do.
Okay, well, I remember. I'll always remember. And it was horrible.
Never forget.
And then people were stepping on them because it was like that crowded in there. Yeah.
Ew.
It was my nightmare come alive.
Those strawberry, whatever you want to call them. I almost called it a can. Yeah.
Strawberry can.
Yeah, they're poorly constructed. And also I feel like sometimes they snap in so well that like when you open them, it doesn't open right, and so like tears the plastic, and you're just like, just let me fucking open this thing.
I just wanted a strawberry. God, well, this is super interesting, but maybe we should talk about something else.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's fall break.
Thank goodness.
On to another interesting topic. Yeah, thank God it's fall break. And yeah, I do have something like really good.
Say it.
I can't wait to tell you.
Say it.
So have you had any more haunted experiences in our house lately?
I don't know if it's haunted, but actually today I took a light bulb out of the same lamp.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working. And then I put another one in its place and it worked. And then I was like, I don't want this just sitting on the table. So I put it in an empty socket and it lit up. But I feel like that's just,
you put it in an empty socket?
Yeah. There was an empty slot. I just switched out 2 light bulbs.
Oh, you put it in the...
Yeah. So
in the box?
No. It was connected to the fan.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's just electricity.
Yeah, that's just, but it wasn't working before.
Oh.
So no.
Okay, well, I have a real haunted experience.
Let's hear it.
So the 2 nights ago, Alec was at the studio late because he was editing Night Classy. Thanks, Alec.
Oops.
It took him 7 hours on Wednesday.
No.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
It's me being a perfectionist. It's not y'all.
It's mostly
probably
us.
a little bit of
Yeah. Because we say the stupidest shit and then follow it up with Alec, like you have to edit that out, and it happens like 10 times per episode.
Are we the worst? We need to make
We're
a post on
probably
Am
the
I
worst.
the asshole?
My boyfriend just waits on us hand and foot and produces our podcast. He spends 20 hours a week on it.
Yeah.
Just because he loves me. Him. Yeah.
Not yet anyway.
Yeah. We're hoping to get there.
One
so
day.
donate to us on Patreon.
Yeah, buy those shirts on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hose for Science. They're so cute.
Yeah.
They're pink. They're cute.
They're so cute. The link is going to be in the show notes. Anyway, so he was there late, and so I went to bed before he got home. It was probably like 11 p.m. Were you home 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were home, but I couldn't hear you at all. You and Tommy were upstairs, and I turned the lights out and laid down, and I wasn't even close to being asleep. Like, I had just laid down. I was still like kind of thinking about stuff, and my back was toward the door that goes into the hallway, and then I was facing the door that goes to outside, because there's a door that goes outside from our bedroom, and behind me, like very clearly behind me, like in the kitchen, I just hear someone whistling, and they're whistling like a song. Like, it sounds like, you know how when you listen to like 1940s music, like there's like a whistling track of like someone who's really good at whistling along to a song.
Yeah.
It was like that. And like,
Ew.
I was listening to it and focusing on it, and it kind of got dimmer. And then I was like, okay, I'm imagining it. And then it picked back up. And then it kind of sounded like it was like quiet, but I could hear it clearly. So I couldn't tell if it was like really quiet right next to my ear or like a little louder in the kitchen. But it was like someone whistling a song. Like, I was able to like hum the song along in my head. I don't know what song it is, and I can't remember like the tune now, but it was like, someone was whistling in
That's
our
horrifying.
kitchen. Yeah. And it wasn't any of us. None of us know how to whistle like that. Like, it was like,
it was a professional
whistler. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was it, like a happy song, or like what was the
It
mood
was
of
just
it?
like a song you'd hum to yourself, like like just nothing that I could put my finger on, but like it wasn't ominous or anything.
We need to go to the library and see who used to live in our house, because it's a nice house, especially like imagining in the time that it was built. Mm-hmm. That's a nice house.
Oh, it's a nice ass house. Yeah.
Maybe it was a musician who whistled.
Maybe.
Wow,
But yeah, it was crazy.
That's creepy.
I know.
Did it feel scary?
I felt really scared. And then the thing is I was getting really scared just because like it was so, like I was definitely 100% hearing it. And I was like laying there and I was too scared. I was laying on top of the blankets because it was like hot in our room, and I was too scared to get under the blanket. So my legs were just out and they were bare. And then Ghost, my cat, jumps out of nowhere. I didn't hear him coming because I was so focused on the whistling. He jumps and lands on my legs, and I just like flail out like a starfish, and he runs away. He's scared. And then that kind of like snapped me out of it, and I didn't hear it again. And then I wasn't scared. I went to sleep. But yeah, it was freaky.
Did the cats act weird at all?
I don't know. I mean, Ghost doesn't usually jump on my bed, so maybe when he's scared, he gets under my blankets, and so maybe that's what he was trying to do. I don't know.
Spooky.
Yeah,
wow.
super
Okay.
spooky.
We gotta be on the lookout then.
I know.
Oh
yeah,
gosh,
I was
that's kind of exciting.
I know, it is exciting. I was so jealous of you when that light bulb thing happened, and then nothing's happened to me, and now something
there
finally
you go.
did. Yeah,
I think you leveled it up.
I did. I don't know. Maybe it was pretty cool
to like hear something. I feel like there could be some explanation or something for the light bulb.
Yeah, maybe. And like even for the whistling, it's like, oh, maybe someone was like whistling outside, but like people don't whistle like that. Like it was like a loud song.
Whistle.
Like they were like it didn't sound like anyone I've ever heard whistle in person. Like it was like he was a professional whistler. But yeah, that was really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for more content like that. Keep it coming.
Me too.
At your expense, not mine.
We need to get a Ouija board.
Yeah,
I desperately want one. Yeah, we should get a Ouija board, and then we have our EMF detector. We can like put that out while we're doing the Ouija board, so like if it lights up while like the thing is the planchette's moving around, we know.
I'm gonna get a text from my mom weeks from now when she listens to this episode, and she's gonna be like, "Do not, I repeat, do not get a Ouija board. I've told you multiple times not to mess with that type of stuff."
That's so funny. Meanwhile, I got a Ouija board for like my 6th birthday from my mom.
Is your mom like a believer?
No, she thought like she's like it's a toy. Like she didn't. She's totally not a believer.
My mom is like hardcore. Like that is not to be messed with.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm on the fence, but I'm a believer. But I think I can mess with it. I still want to try it.
Still try
it.
Yeah,
I'd do it for sure. Speaking of Ouija boards and witches, so I got an Instagram DM from one of our listeners who is a witch, and she listened to our episode last week.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool. And she liked it, but she wanted to let me know that like the magic resistance is like definitely still a thing. Like I think I said it was kind of fading away because I think it's lost a lot of its Twitter presence, but she says that people still do, like there's still a huge community of witches that are still putting the curse on Trump. And she personally doesn't put a curse on Trump because she feels like he feeds off negative energy, which I'd have to agree with.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that too.
Yeah. So instead she puts like spells of protection on like liberal politicians who need it and on protesters. So I thought that was really cool.
I like that approach a lot. I'd much rather go with the positivity, just focusing on what's good.
Yeah,
to me.
Definitely. Me too. Especially for someone like as a like a negative monster like him. Like
it's hard not to.
He loves the hate. And like when he gets hate on Twitter, he just like feeds off of it and it fuels his rage. So I can definitely see, not saying to like stop putting a curse on him, but like use your intuition, figure out like what you feel is like genuine and works for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And his followers love it too.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sure. And then another interesting thing she said is that like a lot of people don't have like personal curses that they put out or personal spells, and they don't broadcast them on social media because if you post stuff about your spell, then that makes it really easy for like conservative witches to counteract your spell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
So funny.
Or crazy?
Like, I just imagine them like posting about it and then like just sparks. It's like a map that I vision in my mind of like the United States, like tweet pops up in California and then you see like a burst of magic pop over from Ohio.
It's spiritual warfare. It's just like wild that like all this stuff is happening. We don't even know it's happening, and people are doing a thing.
I get really overwhelmed sometimes about all the things that I don't know.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a whole lot.
But also our podcast has helped with that.
Yeah, it's so fun learning something new every week.
I know.
Today, my topic is a Patreon topic that was given to me, and I mean, I was told the topic and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then there's like, I did this research and there's so much that I didn't know.
So much more.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm excited. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, wait, I have one more thought. I had a thought this morning. I started watching that Netflix documentary about, it's called American Murder.
Yeah.
I started watching that. Okay. First of all, as an empath, it was very hard to watch. I like got 15 minutes in and I talked to him. I was like, I can't watch any more of this. Like,
really?
I feel awful.
Oh,
have you watched it?
No, I've been meaning to. It's on my list.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've just been I watched Pen 15 and then Schitt's Creek. So I watched all the happy shit and now I need to watch that, and I need to watch Ratched, and I need to watch The Haunting of Blythe Manor. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I started watching Ratched too. I
Really?
only got like 10 minutes in, so I need to like actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
But American Murder, it's so crazy because it happened pretty recently and there's so much footage.
Ugh.
Like, and not
like home videos,
so much, because she posted so much to Facebook, and it just, oh my God, it took everything out of me. And I also started thinking about like, if we were to like go missing one day or something or get murdered, and this is like totally not in the right light, but like if they looked on our computers, they're like, what's the last thing they searched?
No. They would have a bank. Yeah. A bank of
like witches, girls in boxes, like.
And also, I always feel so creepy because I make my PowerPoint slides for class and I have all these story problems, and then I like to put a picture that goes with the story problem. And a lot of the story problems are about like middle school girls soccer team or like middle school band. God. So I'm always like Googling like middle school girls soccer, like middle school student jogging. And it's so fucked up. I look really sketchy if you look at my search history.
I try to put a lot of, like, if I don't have pictures of my kids, because I want them to see themselves in the environment, and we teach mostly Black students here in Memphis. And so I'll go to search like preschoolers doing science and it's a bunch of white kids. So I have to type like Black preschoolers doing this, Black preschoolers doing that.
It sucks that you have to, I mean, I do the same thing for my students and it sucks that you have to specify. Like, why is it so hard to find stock images? I mean, we know why.
Yeah, we know why. Yeah. Everything's whitewashed. Yeah. But
it's really messed up.
We can make some changes.
Definitely.
To get some more diversity in there because we want our kids to be reflected in their school and in the world. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. But that's all I've got. So what did you blow?
I blew a 0.135.
Okay, so I was like 0.003 points ahead of you, 0.138.
0.003.
0.00. Is that not what I said?
Oh, is that what you said? I'm just so used to correcting my students when I'm like, what is 8% as a decimal? And they're like 0.8. I'm like, no,
try again.
We've been over this.
Yeah, so I get to go first.
Okay.
You ready for this? Okay. So my topic is also a Patreon pick from our Patreon, Ray Ann from Griffin, Georgia. And she did let us know she uses she, her pronouns. So thank you for that, Ray Ann. And if you also are interested in picking out in picking out a Patreon topic, then all you have to do is donate to us on Patreon. It's a subscription. It helps us out a ton. It is not free to keep this whole thing
not
rolling.
at all free.
Like I thought it was going to be free.
I thought it was going to be close to free, and then it just like costs more and more money every month.
I thought it was going to be free and easy.
Yeah,
neither is surprised.
True. Yeah, I thought it was free and not a 20-hour-a-week commitment.
But that's not to say that we don't love doing what we do while also working full-time as teachers during a pandemic.
So you know what to do.
Help us.
Please. Money, please.
Help me. I'm poor. But thanks a lot, Rayanne, and let's get into it. So a lot of people love Star Wars and the story that it tells. And I feel like if you don't love Star Wars, you're probably arguing that like Star Trek is better than Star Wars.
Or neither.
Yeah. And the third option is the arena that I reside in. And if you're anything like me, you may have never really even watched Star Wars and know almost nothing about it until now, this very second. And disclaimer, for this lesson, you do not have to be an expert or really know anything on Star Wars to enjoy this lesson. It may actually help if you know nothing. It might make this process more...
People who know and love Star Wars are just going to be like screaming at you through their phones.
Yeah, I think so. I tried to not make too many mistakes, but I can imagine that's what's going to happen. But yeah, if you're anything like me, you may have never really even watched Star Wars. And you might be wondering, like, what are all these Star Wars terms like Jedi? And that is related to this lesson, but I want to give some basic rundown on the Jedi. So they are the main protagonists of the Star Wars saga. And the Jedi Order in this saga started about 25,000 years before the first Star Wars movie was released in 1977. And as we all know, famously, the Jedi can get in touch with the Force. Okay, what is the Force, you may ask? Obi-Wan Kenobi describes the Force as an energy field created by all living things. And in 1981, George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars, he compared using the Force to yoga, saying that any character can really tap into the Force's power. And so Jedis are like the good guys. They use the Force to protect peace and order in the galaxy, and they want to become one with the Force. Now, their counterparts, the Siths, they exploit the Force and use it for evil. So the Jedi are the good guys. They defend, they never attack, but when they do, of course, they're known to use their lightsabers, which are powered by crystals.
Ooh. Get your crystals, bitches.
Yes, we're going Jedi. You know, Jedi, like a red eye, but Star Wars.
Totally different.
Rhyme. The Jedi believe that clear thoughts and detachment from emotions are the key to enlightenment, which is probably a good explanation for my current existence.
Wait, attachment to emotions and what?
Detachment.
Oh,
from
detachment.
From emotions.
From emotions.
From emotions. Mimosas, emotions. Y'all just, you get the mix.
Mix.
Yeah. So it's clear thoughts and detaching from emotions that they think is like the key to life. And so they seek out self-improvement through education and experience. So welcome Jedis to Night Classy. We're trying to serve you up some education. And they value kindness, empathy, and sympathy. Basically, they're the sheep of the Star Wars galaxy, if you will.
Sheep? What do you mean?
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sorry.
If you're stupid like me.
I think
You're
I just
welcome.
delivered it a little wrong. I think it's a little on me. So
Okay.
It's an ongoing bit that Hayley has hard to decipher sarcasm.
Yeah. At least for me, I don't know what it is. It's nobody else that has issues.
Okay. So really at the end of the day, they're all about connecting to the natural universe. And all of these beliefs that they have make this fictional Jedi code the perfect outline for a real life religion. Right?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, yeah, I think so too. And hundreds of thousands of people also seem to think so.
Hundreds of thousands?
Hundreds of thousands of people practice the religion of Jediism.
So this like goes beyond cosplay because when I imagine it,
It is in no way fictional or have to do with any, like it doesn't even talk about fictional characters in Star Wars. Like this is very real.
so is it like a moral code or like a true, because if they're not talking about fictional characters, it sounds like it's more like,
We'll get into it. So let's go back to the very beginning. In a universe far, far away.
I knew this was going to be there somewhere.
In 2001, a chain email. A chain email was sent. The origins are unknown, at least to me. I couldn't really get to the bottom of it. But a chain email is sent out that would change the world forever. In the chain email are a bunch of stuff that say basically a bunch of words that when you read them, they say that if at least 8,000 people put Jedi as their religion on the census this year, then the government will have to recognize it as a religion.
Oh, yeah.
This was false.
Oh,
But people love false stuff, or
that's true.
They love,
especially when it's in an email thread.
yes. Oh, I can't even tell you how many emails that I forwarded in like 6th grade, like trying to protect myself from like the boogeyman who would come and get me, or like this girl was kidnapped. If you don't want to like end up like her, spread the awareness. And it's just some like stock image.
How weird was that? That like email basically came out when we were like 10. It came out before that, but like it started being used a lot when we were 10, I feel like. And then all those threads came out and our parents didn't understand email. My mom didn't even have one. And I was just emailing and talking on like GChat or whatever, like Google chat.
Oh my gosh. That was my favorite thing. You would do like the less than sign and a 3 and it would like turn into a heart magically. That was like the OG emoji.
It was so exciting.
The OG emoji.
The OG emoji.
And it probably wasn't even the OG emoji.
Emoji. Yeah. And like, do you remember e-cards? You could go on those like weird websites and send people like animated cards.
Oh, wow. You just like bursted a brain memory for me.
I would just sit there and send them over and over again to everyone I knew.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm remembering this like little bug that would sing in one of them. What was that song? I'm not going to even try to sing it because that will come back to haunt me. No, it wasn't that. Oh, I'm not doing it on air because it will come back to haunt me. I know it will.
Whistle it.
Yeah. Softly in my ear.
It's a very high pitched. So just stop trying to get me to sing it, okay? Whispered in your ear. Okay. But yeah, it was 2001. Emails were flying all about, and people they just really loved the allure of being like, we can be Jedis. Like, according to the government, if we get 8,000 people to put it on the census, then we're legit. Like, that'd be really funny to do. And so they do it, without really even doing their own research.
Yeah.
The force
Does the government even recognize religions? Is that something they do?
Yeah, they do recognize religions, but of course it's all like the main ones, like, you know the main ones.
Yeah.
Definitely
we
not
all know
Jediism.
the main ones.
Yeah, the main guys. You've got the Christians and the Buddhists and
Judaism,
the Jewish people.
Islam.
Yep.
Got all the Abrahamic.
Yep, you
religions.
do. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then, of course, there's the part where it says other. And then that is where the Force was all up in the census in 2001. 70,000 people in Australia listed Jedi as their religion, 21,000 people in Canada, 303 in Croatia, 15,000 in the Czech Republic, 53,000 in New Zealand, 390,000 people in England and Wales, and 14,000 people in Scotland.
Dang. How many in the U.S.?
I don't know. I couldn't find the initial numbers in the U.S., but it is highly popular in the U.S. now.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, what? What's up with all these Jedis? There was like controversy about it. It was popular. People were annoyed. It was outlawed. There was acceptance all around Jediism. And the main thing from the very get-go was that people were not really liking Jediism. They're like saying it's not real and stuff.
Well, I don't know where they got that stupid idea. That
Right.
It's not real.
If I say it's real, then it's real.
It's
George
real.
Lucas said it's real.
It's real to
There's
me.
a movie about it. It's a documentary. Star Wars. Ever heard about it? There's several of
It's
them.
on Nat Geo.
It's certified. I don't know by who. But it seems really popular. The Australian Bureau of Statistics even threatens people with fines for, first of all, not filling out the census. They're like, if you don't fucking fill this thing out, we're going to fine you $110 per day, every day that it's left incomplete.
What?
And yeah. They're very serious about their censuses. Millionaires. And they ended up sending out this warning to 595 people. They ended up prosecuting 100 of them for not filling out the census that year. And then there were also threats of fines for providing false information, such as putting Jedi as your religion. And that was $1,110.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
I mean, I would fire back a fine of $1,110 to the government for telling me my religion's not fucking
slandering my religion.
Yeah, how dare you?
Even though it was a joke that it came from.
doesn't matter.
You can't tell me anything.
Yeah. Like, what is religion?
Exactly.
Like, are they only legit because they're old? Like,
right.
What?
Oh, now we're gonna say
Yeah.
this is not real because you made it up.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do some readjusting here because that's not right. But anyway, no one was actually ticketed with this, even after 70,000+ people said they were Jedis in 2001, and even atheists stepped forward and were like, "We're not with them. We're not with them. Like, these Jedis, that's not us." And
oh my God.
Yeah, they urged other atheists. It was
This is why people hate atheists.
Do they?
A lot of people do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
And this is
atheists
why.
hate people. Not generally, but to be driven to atheism. No, I get it. I get it.
I mean, I consider myself an atheist.
I am in between like atheism and agnostic. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't consider myself an atheist because like I also like I just don't have any, like, it's not like I deny the existence of God. I just don't ascribe to any like line of belief. I just,
right. Yeah.
like anything could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
knows?
just kind of like flapping in the wind at this point.
Same. Flapping in the wind.
Free associating on my podcast about religion. But honestly, Jediism might be the one for me. And we'll also get into that.
We also need to make shirts that say between atheism and agnosticism.
That's like in that interview I did with that lady, Halida, where she said something about, and it wasn't in the episode that we did, but in the initial interview, she was like talking about how she's agnostic. And then I said something, I was like, oh yeah, agnostics for life. And like, we like bonded over being agnostic. And I was like, that's like rare to meet an 80-something-year-old woman who's like, I'm agnostic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that was cool.
And that was from episode 27.
Yes, and that was about some of the origin stories of the Satanic Panic and the McMartin preschool trials. But anyway, we're talking about Jedis right now. So yeah, the atheists were like, we're not with them. And they urged other atheists to not joke around that they're Jedis because then the government would think that they're religious, and that also affected things, you know, like because the census is used to allocate money towards planning schools and hospitals and all that shit. And the Atheist Foundation of Australia even tweeted, I quote, if old religious men in robes do not represent you, don't mark yourself as Jedi. And yeah, so they have very strong feelings about that. And people who are marking themselves as Jedi, they also argue are making Australia seem more religious than it actually is. They're like, atheists are being underrepresented. How are we supposed to get like tax cuts from the state if our numbers are misrepresented?
What does that even mean?
It doesn't mean anything. They just wanted the accurate number for people, like, I mean, 70,000+ people said they were Jedi.
Okay, but 70,000+ out of how many million? Like,
it ended up being like 0.8%, I believe, of the population.
Still, like, there's so many people that like claim they're Christian on there and like have never been to church. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question, but people were up in arms about it.
Yeah.
And then there are also people who are like, Jediism, your materials, like to make this made up religion, they're protected by copyrights. How are you going to do this? And my questions are like, I just wonder, like, what if other historical and religious figures were copyrighted? Like, what if every time someone talked or like made something with Jesus in it, they like sent out like a cease and desist? But I feel like, you know, religions, they just draw from the culture that's really happening at the time.
Also, like, technically, like, religions are like not for profit, even though like obviously a lot of times they are, but like if they're not profiting off of using Star Wars imagery, I think that's okay, right?
Yeah, and it is. So it was fine, but that was one of the initial governments. In 2016, the UK government rejected the application for Jediism to be registered as a religious charity, and their reasoning was because, quote, it lacks the necessary spiritual or non-secular element. So they can't win.
Like, really, like, what makes this different than any other religion?
Exactly.
Like, people just, like, I don't want to, like, slander someone's religion, but, like, nobody knows for sure. And there's all these different religions. Like, one is right. A lot of them are wrong. And, like, people made shit up. Like, who cares?
Right. Religion is what it is to you. And if it makes you feel better, then awesome. But how are you going to say that yours is right and everyone else is wrong?
Yeah, it's so silly.
Like, if your God says that your religion is right, how did he make all these other people wrong?
And I think maybe like this points out the hypocrisy of a lot of religions, and maybe that's why people get so upset about it. It's like, if this can be considered a religion and like we just made it up as a joke, then like my religion can be considered something that was made up as a joke.
Yeah, and probably.
Yeah.
It hits deep.
It hits home for sure.
People are definitely getting butthurt.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they were like, we're not going to let you create this, you're not secular enough. You're not spiritual enough. Like, ugh. And the Jedi people are like, bet, like new religion we will make. And so in the US, the Temple of the Jedi Order was officially approved as a charity organization and was exempted from federal income tax under the IRS, aka it's a church. And so it's officially recognized as a religious organization.
Cool.
Now. Yeah. And what started as a joke has really turned into a true belief system for a lot of people. What's really cool is that they embrace diversity. They really celebrate all walks of life. And so tons of people from different communities are coming together online and in person. There are a lot of different sects, I guess, like organizations within this, across the world. But yeah, it's really popular in the US and I'm going to tell you about it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So Jediism as a religion, the Jedi system of beliefs is kind of like this big casserole that brings in things from like Buddhism, Catholicism, samurai. It does it's more like inspired by the fictional practices of the Jedi in Star Wars, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't worship any fictional characters or anything like that. Several of the sources that I read did compare Jediism to Scientology, not because of their practices, but because of how they came to be in modern day.
Right.
And the number of people following these religions. Like Scientology has L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who created Scientology, as some like divine guru, daddy level.
Daddy Elrond.
Yeah. But Jedis do not do that with any of the characters, not with George Lucas. They don't even have a divine being. And the church today has about 200,000 people active online around the world. And you can even have more than one religion while practicing Jediism. And they embrace technology. They love scientific advances, and this really creates a whole new appeal to a lot of people who maybe feel like maybe that's just, missing a little bit in their religion.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that, spice of life and modernist. Jediism definitely fills that gap. And so how do they do it? What do they believe in, you may ask? Let me tell you. From the Temple of Jedi Order website, Jediism is a religion based on the observance of the Force. It's a ubiquitous and metaphysical power that a Jedi, who's a follower of Jediism, believes to be underlying fundamental nature of the universe. Jediism finds its roots in philosophies similar to those presented in an epic space opera called Star Wars. It is a religion in and of itself. So it's not based in fiction. They do say we accept myth as a sometimes more practical mean of conveying philosophies applicable to real life. And I was like, wow, I wish other religions would just come out and fucking say that.
Right.
Like, it's okay to be like, all this stuff is fictional, but like, how can you use it in your life rather than being like,
take the message away and not like literally read into everything.
Yeah. Instead of like being out on like in Washington, D.C., like Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
The other day I was just trying to like think of what the lesbian version of that would be, and I was trying to come up like with like names for Adam that are like female names, and I couldn't think of any.
I can't.
Don't ask me why I was
doing
this.
I like this.
It's just like a game I play with myself. Like come up with it.
Adam and Eve, not. I can't think of any. Can you, Alec?
I don't know. Edema?
It's not
Is that a name?
No.
Edema sounds like a different word for
mean,
like a...
It sounds like a prescription drug. Edema.
Yeah.
Edema may cause
yeah.
hemorrhages.
Lesbianism.
Lesbianism.
Do not take edema if you're...
Right, because we all know something went wrong with your medication to make you gay. Surely you're not born with it.
No.
Just kidding. I know that, just to be clear.
Yeah.
You're born this way.
In case you can't read Hayley's sarcasm.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
Kat's like getting all upset.
Yeah. How dare you?
I thought I knew you. Okay. Okay, so they're seeming pretty cool to me. I'm going to walk through the main beliefs of Jedis. I might just pick and choose a few of them because they list a bunch of beliefs, and then I'll move on to the 3 tenets. A Jedi believes in the Force first and foremost, and in the inherent worth of all life within it. And in the sanctity of a human person, they oppose the use of torture and cruel or unusual punishment. They are highly opposed to the death penalty, which I love. They believe in a society governed by laws grounded in reason and compassion, not in fear or prejudice. And they believe in a society that does not discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation or circumstances of birth, such as gender, ethnicity, and national origin. They believe in the ethic of reciprocity and how moral concepts are not absolute, but vary by culture, religion, and over time. And I think that really makes it malleable. And I'm going to bring it back to like how they're like, yeah, you can have another religion and practice Jediism. And I have never heard of another religion say or do that.
Some sects of Buddhism do.
Cool. I love that. Thank you for that knowledge nugget.
You're welcome. Not all of them. I don't like if you're a Buddhist and don't believe in that. I don't want you to come at me. But there are Buddhists that also have other religions.
Sweet.
And probably more religions other than Buddhists, but that I don't know of.
Yeah. And like, I'm not super, super well versed on all the religions. So
every single one. You got to know everything about it.
I'm an expert. Yeah. my ego is huge, by the way. A Jedi also believes in the separation of religion and government and the freedoms of speech, association, and expression. And so I'm just really left wondering, like, where are all the Jedi politicians? And that's probably an oxymoron just in itself.
But you'd like, one can hope.
Yeah, I do hope. There was
is The New Hope a Star Wars movie?
It is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I got The New Hope.
Oh wow! Is that like a premonition to?
What if they ran on like the platform and like their slogan was The New Hope and they were a Jedi?
What if America got to the point that everything was so bad that everyone voted as someone who's a Jedi to be president just as a joke, and then it ended up happening, and then everything was awesome?
That'd be like the opposite of what happened last time.
Yeah.
People voting as a joke because it would be ridiculous. And then it really happened.
Well, I think it would be good if they actually practiced all these Jedi things and it reflected it in their actions.
Me too. Also, please vote for a real candidate this time.
Please. Yeah. We've had enough, and I hope you have too.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Anyway, the 3 tenets. There are 3 tenets in Jediism: focus, knowledge, and wisdom. So that's like the 3 pillars that they practice. And they have the Jedi Code. It comes in 2 versions, and there's just different ways of understanding basically the same teaching. I'm going to read the one that has a few more words in it. So one is simple. So for example, it's like emotion, yet peace, versus there is no emotion, there is peace, which I think it is important to be in touch with your emotions and be able to reflect and work through them. But also, I don't know how that looks in Jediism.
And the way you described a Jedi, like having no emotion, but also valuing empathy, it sounds like it's more about not letting your emotions rule you.
Yeah, I think that's
instead
exactly
of like
what it
shutting
is.
off your emotions completely.
Yeah, exactly. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. So again, focusing on the positive side of things. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. I would hope for one day that to be true. There is no death. There is the Force. Da, da, da. And like most major religions, they do have several days of significance. May 21st is their day of recognition to honor each other and the bonds between all of us. And that's also International Earth Day. May 25th is Jediism Day to honor Jediism and the path that one may take to seek out to be the Force. Be the Force.
Be the Force. Do the Force. Have the Force. Eat the Force.
Ooh.
Build bar.
Build bar. Jedi. September 21st is the day of harmony to honor peace and connection with the Force. And it's also World Peace Day. So I feel like they're just kind of like rewriting some of the pre-existing significant days, but that's okay. October 31st is Memorial Day for them. It's to honor...
How dare they? That's not fair. You can't have Halloween.
Yeah, but the reason why is because they also recognize, they say it's also Samhain, which I'm not really sure what that is, / Halloween. Memorial Day for them is to honor those that have passed back into the Force. So I feel like that's like a little like spooky
Halloween
wink
action,
at the afterlife or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tons of people dress up as Jedi on
That's
Halloween.
true.
Right. Yeah. December 21st is Anniversary Day to honor the temple and its founding, which seems fitting since we found out, I forget on what episode, but that when they created Christmas, they just picked a day to be Jesus's birthday.
Yeah.
So Jediism also followed in that. And I feel like that also makes it really convenient for people who do practice other religions and Jediism to be able to celebrate and be with, family and be cheerful on these days. Mm-hmm. And there's a December 31st, their day of reflection to honor our own past and future. So it really coincides easily. They're a really just loving, accepting, reflective group of Jedi, I guess. So if you're interested in joining, here's how you can do it in the United States, at least. You have to, first of all, believe in the Force. The Force must reside within you. It surrounds you and flows through you. You have to be accepting of their teachings and the doctrine, which is basically what I just read you all, their basic beliefs, tenets, and those must serve as a spiritual guidance for you. And they also do remind you can have other spiritual convictions along with being a Jedi. And then you just have to complete a member application. And then once you complete an application, there's like different levels to it and they like walk you through it and stuff. It's just kind of like a normal church, but cooler.
Cool.
So if you would like to learn more, check out the templeofthejediorder.org. You can also find additional creeds and the 16 teachings. There's also the Force Academy. I looked on it. That's at academy.forceacademy.us. They have guest courses currently out right now. And the first one is on online mental health first response. And it's about like, if you see someone you know on social media struggling and you can tell that like something's wrong, but like you don't know what to do, but you shouldn't do nothing. Like we have resources and like ways to like help you handle that situation. I was like, oh my gosh. So many times I've like been in that situation. That would have been really helpful. I didn't end up getting to take it because of course, like I finished my notes today. But that is my lesson. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you and also with you. Thank you, Hayley. That was great. Let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Yes. Before that, though, let me cite my sources real quick. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Build Bar.
Yes.
Gonna have to wait.
You're gonna have. Please hold. Religion for Breakfast YouTube. Come to your senses. No, they're kidding. No kidding, they're serious at smh.com, BBC Newsbeat, recordnet.com, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, templeofthejediorder.org, and that is all.
Cool.
Okay, let's break.
All right. Well, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. Hayley, are you hungry?
Always.
Me too. What do you eat when you're hungry?
Oh, fruits, vegetables, all the hell. Oh, wait. No, I'm looking. I'm still looking for something that's like good for me and is not total trash, but still tastes good.
When I'm hungry, I like candy, but we can't eat that all the time. So a new product that I have found that really tickles that candy itch, but has...
it tickles the itch.
It does. It tickles the itch.
That's like a swap.
A what?
A swap, like, doesn't actually make it better, but I'm feeling like this is going to make it better.
Oh, it tickles the itch. Yeah, I guess it should scratch the itch, but I've had too much alcohols and I need to sober up with a nice Build Bar.
Ah, Build Bar. This is the one with 16 grams of protein, right?
Yeah, 16 grams of protein sweetened with dates and honey. It is absolutely just great for your body, great for your mind and your soul.
And your tongue, because it's delicious. It's yummy. It has collagen also.
Yeah. So not only are you getting muscles, you're getting like clear, beautiful skin and long hair and hard as diamonds nails.
Hard nails.
Hard.
Just imagine coming out of quarantine looking like even more of a queen.
Or
Quarantine
more,
glow up.
Yeah. Or more of a snack.
More of a snack.
More of a snack.
Speaking of snack, if you eat Build Bar, you can feel like a snack, be a snack, and eat a snack.
Yeah.
What else can you do with snacks?
You can do whatever you want with snacks. They're yours to do whatever you want with legally.
Right.
No one can tell you what to do with your snack.
Right. But I am going to tell you should eat the Build Bar snack.
Yes,
It's very good.
Definitely eat the Build Bar snack. And if you want a Build Bar, head to buildbar.com. That is BYLD bar.com and enter promo code NIGHTCLASSY for 10% off. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, we're rolling. Sound
Sounds good.
Sound speeds.
Sounds good.
Beep boop.
Beep boop pop pop. My name is R2D2. Okay, so I also have a Patreon topic suggested by my very own daddy.
Oh, I hate when you do that.
I know, I'm so sorry.
There's a time and place for daddies, and it's not for your actual
For your
daddy.
actual daddy, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, daddy. Alex shaking his head. Okay.
It's only like the fourth episode that this bit has gone on.
I know. That's why we need to get this topic over with so I can stop saying it.
Oh, this is where it ends?
Well, this is where it ends in like reference to my actual father.
Oh, okay. My father.
Mein Vater. So, all right, we're done with all of this. I don't like any of it.
Papi.
No. So my dad texted me last week, and I already told you guys this, but for the listeners, I get this text, and he's like, "I think I know what I want for my Patreon topic." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like,
What?
What? What, Vater? He's like, "In 2 to 3 days, you'll get a package." And I'm like,
Oh, package from your father.
Yeah.
We're going to get arrested.
My dad's going to get arrested. I'm not.
We're all getting arrested for different reasons, but.
And he says in 2 to 3 days, you'll get a package. And that's the topic. And I was like, is it wine? Because it sounds like wine.
What if you open it up and a bunch of pigeons came just flying?
Yeah. And then the topic would be pigeons.
Yeah. We're like, obviously, in this hypothetical made up situation that didn't happen, yeah, it'd be pigeons.
Okay. Well, it's not pigeons, sadly.
Okay.
So I was like, is it wine? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, it sounds like it would be wine. And I was close because it's vodka. So I got this big bottle of Deep Eddy vodka, and that's what our topic is about today.
That's
it's
the
a vodka
we're drinking tonight.
Yeah, we're drinking that vodka tonight. It's delicious.
It is. It's
I'm
very
enjoying
good.
it. Yeah.
I accidentally said no to another drink, and now I'm empty.
Do you want to
after
pause?
a break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
let's
get one.
do that. Okay.
All right. Well, we're back. You have your drink.
Yes. My
Yes.
cuppeth spilleth over.
Yes. I'm glad you have another drink because you should definitely be drinking vodka while we have a lesson on vodka.
It feels right.
Yeah, it should. And so I think we should just get straight into it. So my sources are Wikipedia, liquor.com, Britannica.com, factsanddetails.com, vodkafacts.net, blogsaucy.com.
.net. Oh, saucy.
And listen to this one, onthesauceagain.com.
I'm back on the sauce.
Yes. And so am I.
That's me every Friday
Yeah.
and Monday, Tuesday,
And
Wednesday.
every day of the week.
Just kidding. Mostly just Fridays.
Okay. So vodka is, quote, a clear distilled alcoholic beverage with different varieties or originating in Poland, Russia, and Sweden. And that quote is from Wikipedia. Continued, it is, quote, primarily composed of water and ethanol, but sometimes with traces of impurities and flavorings.
Ooh, like purposeful impurities?
I don't
we
know.
meant to do that.
I don't know. Not an expert. So
doesn't matter. It gets the job done.
Yes. So what makes it vodka? It is colorless, clear, and it has a very neutral flavor. And since the 1890s, standard vodkas have been 40% ABV. In Europe, the minimum ABV for it to be considered vodka is 37.5%. And in the US, it is 40% ABV. In Russia, the lower alcohol content of 40 ABV is actually preferred. So like 40 ABV, it's the minimum. So in the US, so it's kind of on the lower end. Mm-hmm. And in Poland, they prefer it. They like it a little stronger. They like it at 45% ABV.
Wow. So anything below like 37 was the lowest.
Yeah, 37.5 is the minimum in Russia.
Anything below that, they're like, that's baby's milk.
Yeah, then it's then it's wine. It's not vodka.
Oh, okay.
So traditionally, vodka is drunk neat. That means no ice, no mixers, no anything, which is disgusting.
I'm a non-traditional girl. What can I say?
I've been like vodka tasting, and they give it to you neat, and you're supposed to like sip it and enjoy it. And it's just vile. I don't understand how anyone does that.
Right. For me to drink vodka, this is a very nice way we're doing it tonight, but usually it's in the form of a shot.
Yeah. A shot
or
with
a
chaser or
a mixed
drink. Yeah. I don't understand people that enjoy sipping vodka, but some people do. In the vodka belt of Belarus, Estonia, Finland, Iceland, Lithuania, Latvia, Norway, Poland, Russia, Sweden, and Ukraine, vodka is served freezer chilled, and it's usually served with food. So it's made to kind of like cleanse your palate. It's served super cold, and it cleanses your palate between bites. It's kind of like wine.
Do they have any like specific foods that they use? Like sushi, they have ginger to cleanse your palate in between different bites.
I mean, it'd be like Russian food. I don't know what they eat in Russia. I've never been. Sorry.
Me either.
This is beyond
never been.
my research.
I don't know.
And as we know, it can also be used in cocktails. And some popular vodka cocktails are the vodka martini, cosmopolitan, vodka tonic, screwdriver, greyhound, black or white Russian, Moscow Mule, Bloody Mary, and Caesar. And some common flavorings for vodka include buffalo grass, lemon peel, berries, peppercorns, and caraway. And there were 2 cocktails in there that I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, what's a Caesar?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Caesar. And the first one I didn't know was Black Russian. So a Black Russian is pretty simple. It's just vodka and Kahlua. And then Caesar, which sounds okay. It sounds okay. Yeah. I'm not a big Kahlua person, but
I love Kahlua. I imagine like Black Russian... it like comes from a tale of like a Russian who got frostbite and he was trying to stay warm by drinking this like vodka, and they found him and he's all black from frostbite.
Ew, that's disgusting. Okay.
But they named the drink after him.
Yeah.
And again, that is all made up in my head.
Okay, so
like, thanks, Hayley.
You're like back on planet Earth now.
Yeah. Ew. So the other drink I didn't know was a Caesar. And according to a woman named Holly on spendwithpennies.com, a Caesar drink is sometimes known as a Bloody Caesar and has distinct savoriness and spiciness, making it one of the best things to serve at brunch or a hockey party.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Me either. I don't even know what hockey is.
It's like where all the hockey moms get together and get lit.
Ugh, I can't imagine anything worse.
Because they're hockey moms.
Gross. No offense to all the hockey moms out there, but I don't know what hockey is. And so it's basically a Bloody Mary, but instead of tomato juice, it's made with clamato juice. Do you know what clamato juice is?
I know what it sounds like.
What do you think it sounds like?
Chlamydia?
Okay, no. But close. It's made of clam juice mixed with tomato juice.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's fucked up. That is so gross. I'm sorry if you like it. I don't feel sorry.
Right,
That's
I'm
gross.
Sorry for your taste buds.
Yeah. I'm sorry you have
wrong.
terrible taste and go to hockey parties.
Yeah, you probably have mustard curtains too. So sorry about your taste.
We're rude. We're mean girls.
We are. I've never been a mean girl until I met you. I kind of like it up here.
Are mustard
don't say
curtains
that.
a like decorating thing or a thing on the human body?
No, don't say on the human body. That sounds like they have like yellow pubes.
I'm not going to shame anyone
the
for
mustard curtain.
I am not going to shame anyone for their body. And if I have, I'm very sorry if you have mustard curtains, but I'm referring to window curtains. And I just thought of something ugly. Maybe they could be
color.
Yeah, maybe they could. I just picture like, what is the fabric? Like velvet, like 70s mustard yellow, thick ass curtains that are like just so
puke
ugly.
Curtains.
Yeah, puke curtains.
Well,
that's not it.
It's not it. So if you were wondering, the word vodka comes from the Slavic word for water, which is voda, and can loosely be interpreted as little water. And the first time the word vodka was recorded was in 1405 in Polish court documents. And at the time, vodka was referring to medicines and cosmetic products. So it was like a really high alcohol content. You didn't really drink it, but the drink, which was like basically watered down vodka, was called gortsalka, and that was from the old Polish word gortsek, which means to burn. So like it was feisty.
Oh, it burns.
It burns. Modern vodka though shouldn't burn. Like I feel like good vodka, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's pretty smooth, especially if it's cold. And over the years, it appeared on and off on manuscripts and documents, but it wasn't in the Russian dictionary until the mid 19th century. So
wow.
And we'll talk about it in a little bit. But before this, like I said, like the word vodka was mostly about like medicinal alcohol. Mm-hmm. And in English literature, the word first appeared in 1780 in a book of travels that described kabaks, which are Russian public houses where people go to drink vodka. And then something else I read claimed that this word was coined in the late 19th century, because like the history of all this is pretty muddy. And so one source said it was coined in the late 19th century by the famous Russian chemist Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. And this was the chemist who invented the periodic table of elements. And before this, vodka was known as grain wine. So I don't think he actually invented the word. I think this source was like not being super clear, but it's possible that he helped popularize the word.
Okay.
Because it was called grain wine and like a ton of different names before around this time. So he could have helped popularize it. And then speaking of standard names, someone named Victor Erofeev writes in the New Yorker, quote, "To this day, there are probably more euphemisms for vodka than for anything other than the male sex organ. Its aliases range from hot water to the monopolka, the bubble, crankshaft, the bitter stuff, and the white stuff, and to the classic Soviet half liter and quarter bottle." And I'm like, I've never heard anyone call vodka anything but vodka.
Yeah, I really like crankshaft.
I do like crankshaft.
That feels like it could double for male genitalia. And
yeah, that's what I thought when I was writing this. But yeah, I don't think there are actually a lot of euphemisms for this. And I think this was like, this guy wrote this pretty recently, so I don't know. I think he was editorializing just a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, the Mona Polka. No.
Sounds like a dance.
Yeah, it is. But in college, we did call like half G's of vodka plaf G's. I don't know if that counts because they came in like plastic half-gallon things. So we called them plaf G's. And it was like the super cheap vodka, like Skull. Have you heard of Skull?
Yeah. There's also, what is it? Captain K's, or what is it? Is that vodka?
I don't know. It sounds like rum.
It has like a pirate on the front.
It's probably rum.
Oh, it's clear. Like vodka.
It's clear?
Yeah.
Maybe it's white rum?
There's clear rum.
Yeah.
Bacardi's clear.
Oh, Shitty K is what it's called.
Shitty K.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that one. We only had Skull at like college frat parties. And I was thinking about this last night while I was like thinking about my notes, and like we would go down into frat basements and there'd be like 10 half G's of vodka and we would just pass them around with no chaser and everyone would just be drinking out of these like plastic half gallons of vodka. And I cannot believe that was a thing. Like that is so disgusting.
It's nasty. The things you do.
Yeah. Like why?
Yeah. I got to college and I was like, oh, so this is what sophisticated drinking is like.
This is normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. I would never do that again.
Hell no. I'm ashamed to say that I relate to that sentiment.
God, it was so disgusting. But anyway, the history and origin. So historians aren't sure the exact origin of vodka. Originally, what we like can trace back to like being the like prerequisite to vodka is that it like contained very little alcohol. It was about 14%. Most historians believe that vodka appeared in the 8th or 9th century with the invention of the still. And like that made distilling possible so we could have higher alcohol content and more purity. And before distillation, like I said, vodka was like very low alcohol content and it was different in color, flavor, and smell. And also Eastern European countries used like their freezing winters to make alcohol stronger before they had the still, because they would put their alcohol out and freeze it and the water would freeze and the alcohol wouldn't. So you're able to dump out the ice or pick up the ice out of it and then you'd have stronger alcohol.
Wow. Nice. That's what they needed in like the 8th and 9th century.
Yeah.
They needed some good.
They needed some good, and they got it with the still. The still was able to like have, it was able to make stronger alcohol than the freezing method did. And like I said, originally vodka was made for a disinfectant and for treatment for wounds. And it was the kind you drank was a little bit different and it was called bread wine or burnt wine. Flavored vodka was first invented in the 13th century and was flavored with roots, honey, herbs, and botanical essences. And it probably originated in Poland or Russia. We're not sure. Both countries like really claim that they were the ones to invent it. It's a big feud. They want to be.
Did they have the same
ones.
like borders as we know them now at that time?
I mean, I think they were fuzzier. They're not quite the same, but like there's still like a Polish identity and a Russian identity, and they kind of fight over who invented it. According to Soviet historians, in the late 1970s, vodka was first made by monks at the Chudov monastery at the Kremlin in the late 15th century. Most people don't believe this because it's like
surprises me. Monks?
Yeah, I mean everyone got lit back then. They didn't care.
I didn't know that. When did they make the rules?
Monks were like part of the government. So I think so. It's like, I don't know.
So
there's no rule against drinking in a lot of religions. It's not like they're the ones with the money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the resources. But most people don't really believe this because it's like pretty self-serving. Like, of course, the Soviets are like, yeah, we like figured this out and it was made in Russia and this is what it is. But the first recorded distillery was mentioned in a Russian newspaper, but this was in 1174 and we know there was vodka before this. So it's a little murky. The Polish claim they discovered vodka back in the 8th century, but most historians agree that they only had like a very crude brandy that was distilled from wine. So it's like,
how dare they?
That's not the shit.
Right. It's a little murky, just like a vodka night should be.
Yes. And the reason so much of early history of vodka is lost is because in the 17th century, the Orthodox Church, like you said, I guess this is true. So the Orthodox Church declared that vodka was an invention of the devil, and they burned all the historical documents about vodka.
That is so messed up. Like, even if it was from the devil, to burn historical documents?
Yeah, but that's what they did back then. They're like, if we burn it, it's gone. No one's going to care.
Well, we're here right now and we care. 2020.
Yeah, they were wrong.
2020 called. They want their vodka historical documents back.
Same, because this research was so convoluted. I mean, not that I looked at the best sources, but like everyone said something different. I was like, I don't know who to believe.
Like one where you just have to kind of like figure out what you want the story to be and then pull from whichever source kind of fits that.
And I did my research today after working a full day.
What a freaking superhero.
I don't know what I want my story to be. It's a mess.
It's going great. It's going great.
We're trying.
Keep it up.
I'm trying my best. That's all you can ask of me. So vodka is traditionally made by mixing equal amounts of very strong alcohol and distilled water. So there is like water in your vodka. Most vodka producers purchase already distilled natural spirits with like a super high alcohol content, and then they purify it a second time through a filtration process, which usually involves charcoal. And then they reduce its strength with distilled water, and then they don't age it in the bottle. They just take this alcohol, purify it, mix it with water, and then it's good to go. And it can be made very cheaply using most raw materials suitable for fermentation. Vodka is actually not usually made with potatoes. It's made of cereal grains like wheat or rye. But it sometimes can be made of potatoes, but can also be made of corn, sugarcane, beetroots, grapes, vegetables, or other fruits.
Wow, so versatile.
It is very versatile. There are all kinds of ways to make it. It's cheap.
All kinds of ways to make it, all kinds of ways to use it.
All kinds of ways to drink it. And so obviously we can't talk about vodka without talking about its homeland, Russia. And according to some studies, the average Russian man drinks 180 bottles of vodka per year.
Whoa.
And they didn't specify the size. So like I'm going to give Russian men the benefit of the doubt and say it's probably like the little ones you can get, like not the airplane bottles, but like the like little like
pocket
8-ounce pocket ones,
yeah.
But who knows? And so
either way,
that's a lot, and that's one every 2 days.
I mean, I feel like we can't really judge them so much because if it did originate in Russia and they're drinking in the 6th, 7th, 8th century, it's baked into their blood. Alcoholism. Not saying that they're all alcoholics just because they drink 180 bottles a year.
No, it's definitely part of the culture. And I have a friend, Jessie, and she studied abroad in Russia, and she'd have to walk from like her apartment to the bus and then to her classes. And she said that like it was customary when you leave the house to just like drink vodka because it's so cold that you can't stand walking outside unless you have a little bit of an alcohol blanket.
Whoa.
Yeah, because it was
gosh.
like way below zero there.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but also like you can understand by just like the climate why people need to drink so much.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Also, in Russia, vodka is very cheap. It's about $1 per half liter. Yeah, so super cheap. And it's highly important. One Moscow liquor store owner is quoted saying that, quote, Russians never skimp on vodka. They'll just eat less.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They're like... Vodka? Do you mean second water?
Yeah, that's the real translation. And according to Peter Baker of the Washington Post, quote, many Russians ascribe medicinal, almost supernatural qualities to vodka. Parents sow cotton balls in vodka and dab them on children to bring down a fever or ease an earache. Vodka with pepper is prescribed for an adult cold. Vodka with salt for an upset stomach. Some nuclear scientists even drank it to protect themselves from radiation poisoning.
Did that work, or it's suspected to work?
I don't think that is a tried and true method, but people tried it. In addition to this, the founder of the Russian Vodka Museum in St. Petersburg is quoted saying, the whole history of Russian culture is tied to vodka. And,
vodka.
Yeah. Vodka. And in a lot of ways, like that's really true. Vodka started gaining popularity in the 14th century and then had really solidified its place in Russia by the early 16th century. And then by the mid 17th century, about 1/3 of Russia's male population was deeply in debt to taverns.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's just a bit much.
And I mean, my sources aren't the best this week, so I can't like say for sure that that's true, but
people are saying
I did read that.
I did read these words.
And the same source says that Russia had a big problem because a lot of farmers were too drunk to cultivate their land.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did they have to like not bankrupt? What is it called? Oh my God, I can't think of any words. I'm vodka drunk.
It's okay. Me too. By 1540, Russian Tsar Ivan the Terrible decided to make some good vodka money.
Oh.
Yeah, and he created a government monopoly of vodka. And so what he did was he made like these high taxes on vodka and created government taverns all over Russia that had exclusive rights to sell vodka. So nobody else could sell vodka except for like the government bar. And that like did make them a lot of money.
Yeah. They're like, we're not doing taxes anymore, but we are running the taxes.
Oh, they still did taxes.
Oh, darn it.
And like also like highly taxed vodka. And like these high taxes on vodka created this like culture of like home distilling, which still exists today. Kind of moonshine in the US during the Prohibition. Like people were making their own illegally at home. And there's like this whole culture around it.
That reminds me, my Uncle Alberto brews beer at home and he listens to our podcast. Shout out to Alberto. And he recommends that if we ever make homemade wine again, that we just put straight up yeast in it and not a slice of bread.
I mean, that sounds like pretty good advice if you weren't in prison.
Yeah, right. It's sound advice. I don't know where we'd get yeast.
The grocery store, I think you can just buy yeast.
No, in prison.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah.
Sorry. Once again, I don't understand Hayley's sarcasm.
That wasn't sarcasm.
But it was just a joke
like,
that I didn't
speaking.
understand.
Kat's just suspicious now.
I'm just not that smart. So...
But smart enough. Barely is always enough.
Barely smart enough. So in the 17th century, vodka became the national drink of Russia and was served in the royal court for celebration and religious ceremonies. And in Russia at this time, vodka was just referred to as wine. Literally.
Okay. What was wine?
But they didn't have it.
It's all wine. Everything is wine. Mom. Everything is wine.
All they had was vodka because Russia can't go grow grapes. They just can't
grow grapes.
For
some reason, that just sounded messed up, but it wasn't.
I stumbled over it. It was messed up. I was like, grow grapes. But they can't grow grapes because it's too fucking cold. They did have like very small quantities of like expensive imported wine, but like not a lot. And only rich people had it. So everyone else, they just drank their wine, aka vodka.
Second water.
Yeah, second water. And the thing they called vodka wine, and what they actually did call vodka was 75% ABV.
Oh my God.
And they didn't like, it was used in like medicinal drinks. So you'd like mix it with herbs and shit and take it as medicine. Like it wasn't something you'd drink.
Wow.
Yeah. But by the mid 18th and 19th centuries, Russia really started promoting vodka as the national drink. Taxation on it was 40% of the national revenue.
What?
Yeah, they were making a shit ton of money.
Oh my God. Because the taxes were so high, or so many people were drinking it, or just
a combination. Yeah. Both. And so in the 18th century, the process of rectification was invented. So this basically removes like a bad taste that comes from distillation. This is also done with charcoal, and it creates the taste of vodka that we know today. So like, the government was taxing the hell out of it. It was becoming super popular. They made it taste better. And then in 1863, the government monopoly on vodka was repealed. And so now everyone can make it and sell it.
Level up.
Level up, bitches. This caused the prices to plummet, but it also caused vodka to spread around the world.
Oh my God, a true miracle.
A Christmas miracle. And it started spreading in the 1800s, but it wasn't like really it didn't really get its footing in the West until the 1930s, when several very influential vodka makers immigrated from Russia to Europe and the United States. They kind of brought vodka to the rest of us, and we're so thankful.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. Thanks to these people. So one of those immigrants was a former Russian serf named Pyotr Smirnov. Sound familiar?
I know that name. I just got goose pimples.
And his son, Vladimir. They bought the rights to the Smirnov vodka name And they made vodka for a while. They like had all these like they sold it to taverns and had parties, though unfortunately they were hit hard by the Great Depression and they had to sell the name. Boo. But fun fact about Smirnoff, it became the most popular vodka brand in the world after its appearance in James Bond movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would recognize that if I had seen any of them. But I haven't.
Same. I think I only saw like whatever the most recent one was.
I recognize
Skyfall.
Smirnoff from the years 2015 to 2019.
Yes. Those movies were Dr. No and Beyond, if you care. I've never seen any James Bond movies except Skyfall, so I wouldn't know. But after World War II, vodka became truly mainstream in the United States and Western Europe. And then it hit another rise of popularity in the 1990s and 2000s. During that era, more than 100 new brands of vodka entered the US market, including a few like very high-end ones. And in 2003, vodka surpassed whiskey as the most popular liquor in the United States.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I would take vodka over whiskey any day.
Totally. And I think there became like this big like club culture in the 90s and 2000s, and that probably like really helped to push vodka up there.
Yeah, whiskey, I just picture like a man with a beard sitting by a fireplace, drinking it slowly. But vodka is like, shot.
Totally. Vodka's for the club.
Yeah.
As for Portland, we talked about Russia. We got to give Poland a little bit of Poland, a little bit of attention. Sorry, Poland. And so Poland, the Polish government never sanctioned the drink. And since the 16th century, it's been the most popular drink in the nation. And today, one of the biggest centers of vodka distillation is in Poznań in Poland. Today, vodka is considered one of the most popular drinks worldwide. Largely thanks to its neutral flavor, which makes it great for cocktails. It holds 20% of the U.S. alcohol market and about 70% of the alcohol market in Russia.
Wow. Yeah.
Big 70. So I'm going to end on just a few fun facts.
Classic. Ending on the fun facts.
You got to end on
These
a fun
were the
note.
Neutral facts. Now time for the fun facts.
Those were the vodka neat facts. Now we're on to the cocktail vodka
Bring out
facts.
the cocktail facts.
Yes. On May 9th, 1945. Do you know what happened this
1945?
day? Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Really? Okay. So that was the day of the Nazis surrender to the Soviet Union.
Wow, me just being a fucking smart ass. No, I don't know the day the Nazis surrendered.
But this was also the day that Russia partied so hard they literally ran out of vodka.
What?
Yeah. And the most expensive bottle of vodka in the world, according to when this article was published, which I think was 2001. So it's probably changed by now, but was $3.75 million.
Wow.
And
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Especially for a bottle of vodka.
Yeah. Who's stupid enough to pay? Whatever. I guess if you have the money, you don't care. So it's called Billionaire Vodka, and it's filtered through ice, Nordic birch charcoal, and sand made from crushed gems.
Oh my God.
What's even the point?
That's like, that's insane. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Stupid. So the bottle, the bottle is decorated with diamonds and solid gold labels. And when ordered, it's delivered to your house by a secure delivery person wearing white gloves.
Okay, I would expect nothing less.
Yeah,
I would also want it in like a horse carriage, though.
Like a Cinderella carriage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I would want it.
Me too. So a shot of vodka is about 90 calories. Channing Tatum has his own vodka called Born and Bred. Some weird flavors of vodka that you can buy are including sorry, I don't know how to talk. PB&J, buttered popcorn, dill pickle, cut grass, wild salmon, and scorpion.
Wild salmon would make me throw up instantly.
Yeah, it sounds like cat food.
Oh,
yeah. It's probably for Bloody Marys. but still disgusting.
Bloody Mary, I don't know her.
Or a Caesar. They're already putting clam juice in there.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary, hardly know
Fuck
her.
it up.
And so vodka is a light alcohol, which means it has fewer toxins produced from like byproducts of fermentation than dark drinks like whiskey and rum. And that means less hangovers. So, yay! So, Nadzarovia. That means cheers in Russian.
Nadzarovia!
Nadzarovia! Drink up. And that was my lesson. Nadzarovia.
Nadzarovia. Thanks, Kat or Miss Barnhart.
You're welcome, Miss Madden. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating or review, follow us on social media, and maybe even visit Patreon.
Yeah,
if
fuck
you're
around
feeling,
and become a Patreon.
Fuck around if you're feeling real generous. Fuck around, visit Patreon. We have lots of really good content on there. Bonus if you donate. That's it. 3,
All right.
2, 1.
Class dismissed.